Okay. And we're back with Renaissance Certified Lounge. Of course, I'm your host, Samaria Kay, and our next guest coming to the stage is a true visionary and a community builder. As the founder of Ether, he is creating opportunities through creative project development, nonprofit arts, and asset management, all with one mission: empowering communities to thrive. He believes in the power of healing at home, and his work definitely proves it. Let's give a warm welcome to Joseph Box. Yes. I'm good. How are you?
Well, how you doing?
Yes. I'm good. See. So, first of all, I just really want to thank you for coming and joining us here at Certified Lounge.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course, of course. I'm so excited that you could be here. Honestly, you have been a really huge part of, honestly, Renaissance Certified. So we are just honored that we can have you in the building.
Glad to look. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all been shaking it up. Jefferson Street loves you. All of Nashville, like y'all, like the next wave. And true to the name, Renaissance, like rebirth of culture and platform. So if people ain't heard about you yet, I hope they're watching, or I know they're gonna see soon. Y'all really making a platform for some rising artists here. So
yes, I love the great. Come on now. So let's get right into it because I'm trying to get all in your business.
okay.
Yes.
What's up?
So Joseph, you're juggling creative projects, community initiatives, and now you're closing a deal on a new property. Woo woo. So do you ever sleep? Or have you just unlocked some magical superpower for time management?
Man, well, all praise is due to the Most High. I do get up early. Actually, time management is funny. All my college career, I started working overnight, and I got to Nashville in '07. So I was working overnight jobs, and I worked them from like '08 really through like almost 2018, right? After college, working overnight, like advanced financial, dishing out loans. That was a whole journey. But all that time helped me like sit with my thoughts and my goals. And so even after leaving that night shift routine, my circadian rhythm like is still up. And so I just worked a lot overnight.
Wow. That is really inspirational. You are a true adult. Okay.
Yes.
Because I promise if y'all see me before 9, something going on. Okay.
Oh.
So yeah. No, that's real. So on a serious note, with so much on your plate, how do you stay focused and avoid burnout?
Wow. Well, I don't say I avoid burnout because I definitely have felt burnout time and time again. I'm better at it now, as
Right.
far as like self management, you know, pace management. I think, last year I literally got uh, my first time being diagnosed for like ADHD and like actually getting a grip with that like living and engagement style that kind of had all my life but didn't really know. And so it's helped me slow down. I recently, or 6 years ago, I joined the military. That's helped me put some more structure around my flow as well. But yeah, I think the biggest thing we do in Ether now, we incorporate a company-wide practice of just shutting down from like November through January. So November, December, January is our like rest and restore period. It's a period for strategic planning. It's a period for reconnaissance and reconciliation of family relations, of personal, of internal, introspection. And I think that, regardless of what's happening in the world, helps me like realign and reset my faculties.
That's good. That's good because rest is important.
Absolutely.
Right. And rest is also productive. So I like that. So next question.
Okay.
So Joseph, and all of these start with just Joseph in the beginning, just so you know.
Did I try to call you Samaria Kay, Miss K? Yes, Miss K. What's happening?
So Joseph, Ether is all about collaboration and empowerment across different industries. What inspired you to create a space where creativity, business, and community intersect?
That's a great question. I always I find that if your heart is truly in something, you're always going to find a way to do it. And so my first company that I ever started was called Televise the Movement, right? And it was just that, but I didn't know how to execute this. So I started by like shooting films, shooting behind the scenes in the community, and helping creatives that I saw looking to impact the world just tell their story. That project grew into a, North Nashville staple called the Jefferson Street Art Crawl, and I worked with several amazing creatives. Speaking of which, Alicia now leading that, right, through the North Nashville Arts Coalition, right? Alicia Thaxton and Dojo. So many creatives helped us create a monthly, tastemaker event where we could showcase and elevate artists. But with doing all of this, I didn't really get to the point of like integrating the business systems. Like, so it's like, hey, do your passion and let people see your work, or here, let's get some grants and let people buy or support your art. But after the last project, Jefferson Street Art Crawl, which is now the North National Arts Coalition, I realized there was a need for like business solutions. There was a need for infrastructure and really just ongoing. Ultimately, even if you know how to do all the business mechanisms to your artwork, if you're on stage, if you're the artist in the frame, you need someone to provide some of that back and support. No one succeeds on their own. It all takes a team. So we just decided to develop a company that was designed to be the team. Like, that's the whole mission of the company, right? We're the team.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And Renaissance Certified was at the National Art Crawl in October.
Culture Crawl.
The Culture Crawl.
2024. Y'all were great too, man. Y'all was over there at Proverbs and Poetry with my man Josh Jackson. Y'all was over here with Mossy and friends. Y'all really showed us love. So that's why I'm saying, like, if they don't know, they're gonna learn.
Yeah.
They're gonna learn. Renaissance Certified doing great work. So I appreciate you.
Yes. All right. So as you expand a new co-op opening in June, what impact do you hope it will have on the people that walk through its doors?
Wow. Yeah, great question.
I just keep coming with it.
So just, put it out there. The Element, which will be the name of our co-working space and studio incubator, coined by one of my business partners, Mr. Adams, will be a space where creatives can come to tap into studio resources, accelerator programs. We also plan to have we already got some partnerships. So we'll have a couple of different satellites within the city, and then we got a few right now outside of the city. So ultimately, we really hope it can create a network, like mycelium network, for artists across the nation and abroad at some point, to tap in, to create together, and to further the culture. So it's funny, I have the brand Renaissance Certified talks about the rebirth of arts. A lot of what Ether supports is a culture that's really birthing and growing called hip hop. And that's a culture that was founded over 10 years here in Nashville, Tennessee. The Monica coined by Foundation Mecca, his partners, Conscious Beats and Deli from Haru Haru. And it has spread like wildfire because we all recognize it's something that the game is missing, right? There's a lot of money, a lot of energy being poured into drill, being poured into trap, being poured into, destruction type music. And ultimately, if that's the lifestyle you live, if it's your truth, speak it. I'm not holding nobody to it. But there's also other sides to the coin, right? It's not, you can't just dwell in the shadow only. I'm all about harmonizing with your shadow side, but you stay in there too long, you suffer from the allegory of the cave. But I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry. You gotta have balance though.
Yeah, balance, exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So hip hop is really a breath of fresh air. It's what the culture is needing. B4L, Liberated Grounds, the Healers, Renaissance. Like, there's so many people really picking up and carrying that torch now. And so we're just honored to help provide some support and some structure to that growing movement.
Right. Okay. I love that. And I'm excited for June. Okay. So when y'all open up, I'm finna be in there. Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
All right. So next question. So I know you said that, I know you're already involved in so many impactful projects. I know, what is it, Cruise Season 2, the Revolutionary Artist Program. And that's what you're doing with Mobile Melody?
So yeah, Cruise Season 2 was with Mobile Melody, founded by my business partner, Mr. Adams. Coming out with I'm. This ain't the definite name of season 3, but like Women in Hip Hop Nashville, I'm saying it's coming soon. So
Okay.
season 3 is gonna be fire, just as fire. But if you haven't watched it, I think the episode with the SEA Awards just dropped, Gennaro and the Southern Entertainment Awards. So definitely check that out. And that's also a vehicle by which we're connecting artists across the nation, right? Being mobile with the melody. The Revolutionary Artist Program was founded and envisioned by a dope artist that I connected with a few years back through Jaffee and B4L. His name is Train Spitter, the revolutionary artist named Ethan. And this brother, I mean, is fired, bro. I mean, I think he's supposed to be performing today, so I don't really have to say much. You're gonna get a taste. You'll get a taste. But he's not just a phenomenal performer, a dedicated musician. He's really a scholar, and he's created, educational opportunities for other artists to follow his trails. Not even just breadcrumbs. Like, he's got a book now, and I'm honored to help and further the Revolutionary Artist Program. This brother's pirate professor, as we call him, right? Because the man is a true Luffy, a One Piece fan, so we call him the pirate professor. He's the catalyst behind the Artist Accelerator that we have now.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then, I'm sorry, did you ask me about B4L?
I hadn't got there yet, but I mean, if you want to go ahead, you got this young man.
I got it because,
Okay.
Ja is where a lot of this has started for me, right? And people don't know, it's a lot of Ether serves formerly incarcerated. Like, I would say about 50% of our membership are formerly incarcerated. Even I did some time. I know a lot of people, even if they spend 4 years plus, their life has been just as impacted, right? Mm-hmm. And so Jaffee, when I first met him, was recently coming out, cleaning up his neighborhood in East Nashville, listening Avenue street sweepers he had. And he was just like, bro, I'm trying to clean up the hood, but ain't nobody really rock with me. And they told me you a dude that's trying to do some good work. I said, yeah, but I'm trying to transition just out of doing like nonprofit. I'm trying to learn and grow more business. And if you're interested in growing this as a business, I will work with you. And he was the first person ever to say like, hey, I'll engage you in consulting. Like, he's literally my first like major client. And we've gone the distance. I'm VP for the nonprofit now. Yeah. I've been off payroll. We only did 6 months, right? But that 6 months turned into over 6 years now. Mm-hmm. And I'm really honored because through that, I've learned a lot about the street community in Nashville, which are like street code. I love it because it's code of conduct, it's values. There's a lot of integrity there. It's a lot of character there. And yeah, you do what you got to do to get by. But everybody I met through B4L, Bank for Liberation is what that stands for, by the way, has been, beyond remarkable individuals, not just of character, but of mind, of like intellectuals. And so Train is a brother that I met through that. But we're doing a spring every Earth Day, which is around 4/22. 4/22 is Earth Day. Okay. We do a Earth Day event. And last year we had a panel showcase. It was great. This year we're going to have a art competition for the youth. It's going to be held on 4/19. Saturday, 4/19 at Pruitt Branch Library, and then we culminate the year with the actual Bank for Liberation Festival, and I think we'll continue to do those at Magruder now. So,
yes.
Yeah.
No, that is awesome, and I have seen. I heard the song too, the B4L song.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, check it out. But no, I see what you guys are doing in the community, and coming from, because I'm not from here, coming from Clarksville, and I did stuff down there, and then coming up here and seeing, what you guys do up here, I'm so impressed, and I love to see it, especially in, historically Black Nashville.
Come on now. Come on, talk about it. How many HBCUs on this corridor? Look, I love that. Even this spot right here, right, Solberg, remarkable. Like, yes. they bought this place, Daniel, and what's my brother's name? What's Daniel's partner's name? Daniel. Let's just say Daniel, right?
Yeah.
Daniel Larry. That's it. Daniel Larry opened a computer house.
Yes.
Right? But we're like, hey, we know artists need studio space. They need a space to create, and they can just be and lounge. And so they turned and they said, hey, Daniel, do what you will with it. Make this lounge. And so he named it Solberg. And literally, like every Tuesday night, they have an open mic, Tuesday night open mic hosted by Blue and Mossy. You know, it's chills, the homies. They always open up to us to do things, and it's not the hugest space, but so much culture happens sometimes in like the smallest and most intentional of corridors.
Yes, I love that. You know, and also I love the fact that you guys are just honestly really warm and really welcoming. You know, because when I first got to Nashville, even though I mean I only live like an hour away, that ain't really that far, but it's still a different world up here from where I came from. And so when I came up here, you know, I was like, I didn't know nobody. I wasn't at first. I wasn't trying to get to know nobody, but like getting out in the community, you know, obviously getting involved with you, Ether, and all of that. It's just I feel like I have like a new family. So it's very warm and a welcoming place, and I love everything that you're doing. Um,
But it wasn't hard. You got the sauce, so we were like, oh yeah, we need to be working with her, and you came through. I mean, that first event. For those that did make that first event that y'all did at the Honeycomb, it was so lit. And I'm like, y'all turned literally a garage area into an outdoor oasis. And I was like, yo, who is behind the like aesthetic design of this? And it turned out like I didn't know you or Amoré Gear at the time, but Nick, you know, I know him from Cypher for years. Me, you pull up at any Cypher, Nick is there rocking it, and he will not get off the mic, bro. You're not, it's so baby, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, no doubt. No, and you really helped us with that because I remember us, you know, losing the venue like 2 weeks before and freaking out and everything like that, and still being able to make it shake and make it something that's beautiful. Like, yeah. So yeah, no, that is super great. Which leads me into my next question.
Okay, I'll stop talking. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So, community play is such a huge role in your work. In your experience, what's the biggest misconception people have about collaboration? And looking ahead, how can we do a better job of lifting each other up in creative and business spaces?
Wow.
Mm.
I would say the biggest misconception that people have is that if we're doing the same thing, we don't need to work together. Um, because it's kind of like there's a thought in the entertainment industry, there's not enough to eat, there's not enough food at the table. But that's not true. That's that crab in the barrel mindset that has been taught to us, fed to us. Reality is, if ever you look at a film, how many producers' names do you see? How many production companies? You see 5 different production companies at minimum. And so it's like to think like, oh yeah, I'm shooting, you know, I got my own production team. So you don't need to work with another team?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to know what plugs, what avenues they have to offer you? You don't, and so everything that I've done has been through collaboration, right? We did an art crawl, not because I was volunteering at the art history class with Dax and Waters at the time, but we aligned 6 different institutions that were art galleries on Jefferson Street and 6 different like huge artists, old school Michael Mucker, Daxton, Alicia, Dojo, you know, it was, and Nate Harris, you know, God rest his soul, brother passed last year, but he was a staple, right? He founded Woodcuts Gallery that showcases artists all around. And so the thought that if we're doing the same thing, you know, there's really not room for us to work together is literally, that's what's holding you back, right? That's the door that you're closing in your own face. I grew up in an African cultural arts program. It was called Ife Tiger, right? Mm-hmm. And that means love brings happiness. And literally one of the principles we always had to do was Ubuntu. And so Ubuntu, have you ever heard of Ubuntu?
I ain't heard of
Ubuntu.
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 I love that. So Ubuntu means I am as we are.
Okay.
It means I am as we are. And it basically means that the individual is a reflection of their community, and the community is a reflection of the individuals that make it up. And so if you see a community, like I used to do this in college. I could tell when roommates, housemates were like feuding, when they weren't doing well. Because you visit them, the dish should be dirty. People would not be talking to each other, be walking by each other. And like, oh, there's harmony, right? But when things are in harmony, right? With things, harmony means in alignment, working together, like the sounds support one another. Literally, everything flows so much smoother. And that's kind of what that life skill that I learned from Ifetayo kind of has led me through. And that's what I always seek. If it's already there, then I'm great. You know, I'm already in a good space. But if it's missing, I'm trying to figure out like, what can I do to add harmony? What can I do to, you know, help some colleagues speak that may be avoiding one another? Not even due to any wrong, but due to like, they probably don't want to mess with me, or, you know, they always seem like they got an attitude, you know?
Yeah.
And it's common, it's natural. But when we can overcome that, I find we really can be architects of our own liberation, you know?
Yes. Facts. I like that. Wow. I like that. I really do. Your ability to like bring people together, your ability to like make things happen, like you make shit shake. I really like that about you, and I admire that. And so, if you could sit down with your younger self, what is one piece of wisdom you'd share about leadership? And what's one lesson you're still learning today as you continue to grow?
Wow, wow. A lesson I would tell myself about leadership that I'm still learning today. So, if you shine bright, if you have a passion, right? If you have a passion and you're walking in purpose, you're gonna shine bright. Let's just start there. So one can't hide that light. Trying to hide that light is already, you know, an affront to yourself. It's an affront to yourself. Secondly, once you know that you're gonna shine bright and that people may flock to that light, you're gonna be called to lead. So the sooner you accept the responsibility of leadership, the sooner you can start to prepare for it. I think my younger self, I used to avoid leadership. I'm not gonna hold you. I've had some run-ins where I was just like, I lost confidence in self. And so for me, it was easier to say, hey, I'm going to assist leaders. I'm going to learn and be a vizier. Like I still, you know, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a manager of projects. And so I fancy myself a vizier at times, right, an advisor. But if you are gonna shine bright and people are gonna flock to your light, they're gonna be following you. That means you're a leader. And so the second you accept and respect that responsibility, you can prepare and do so with more intentionality. The worst thing I had done for myself was not prepared to lead. I was always kind of like, hey, don't look to me. Like, don't, you know, when you're growing up, you ever see, I know when I was growing up, we used to see celebrities be like, hey, don't listen to me. I'm not no leader.
Right.
But like, you literally a celebrity. Like, who else are we supposed to listen to, you know?
Right.
We're like, we don't know anybody else, you know? If not you, point us to the books, point us to the historical figures. And so we all have an ability and responsibility to lead to some degree. Whether it's your own children, whether it's the children in your family, your nephews and nieces, whether it's your friends, the people following you in school, you know what I'm saying? The next generation, once you graduate, the next generation gonna look to the alumni like, man, what was it like here? So the more you prepare to walk in that leadership unapologetically, with clarity, with alignment, the better you will be for self and everyone that looks to you.
Okay, I feel that. I can't really snap with this hand. Anyways, all right. So, one last thing before we go.
Okay. Shots.
Hey,
I need a bit of that guidance.
Yes. So of course we are sponsored by Guidance Whiskey. So of course we got to take a little shot.
Okay.
Before we let you go. Oops,
you good? You want to pour? Or you want me to?
You know what? You can pour. I feel like
you
I might be better at that. So. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take a little shot, take a little taste, and then you're just gonna answer the magic question.
All right. There's one more question.
Yeah, one last question.
You ain't gotta lower it so much. You gotta lower it so much.
Okay. I'm trying to go with you. You know.
No. I don't know how much these community cups hold. You know, I don't wanna over pour.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me make sure I get that back on the table for the product shot.
So, what are we toasting to?
Renaissance. You know, Renaissance. Especially we need it right now.
Right.
In the state of America. So, to the Renaissance.
To the Renaissance. Hey.
Thanks.
Yes. So before I let you go, what is the best guidance you've been given and what is the best guidance you can give?
I mean, it's gonna be the same thing, right? The best thing that has been said to me or taught to me, I would say, know thyself. And it actually stems from like the principle of Kwanzaa, right? I'm rather Sankofa from the group that I was with. If it's they taught us Sankofa. It's not wrong to go back and fetch what you've lost. It's not wrong to go back and remember it and go back and fetch it. And a lot of times that's our heritage, but it's yourself, right? So knowing thyself, knowledge yourself, helps you move at a pace, helps you move in intention and in a direction that's right for you. And ultimately, regardless of what wisdom anybody can give you, only you will know what's best for you. Only you will know your complete story. And a lot of times, there's more to your story that you can go back and uncover. And so knowing thyself and continuing to do the work to know yourself is the best advice I've ever received.
That's real. That's real. So before we let you go, because, we done talked it on up, tell us your socials and let us know what you got coming up next.
Okay. Peace. Am I looking at you, cameras? What am I looking at? Okay. Hey. Peace.
They got to him, y'all.
Hey. Peace. My name is Joe Baz. I go by the Catalyst 615 on Instagram. I guess that's like primary. You can find me on LinkedIn at Joseph Bazelais. And also my company, Ether Cooperative. I'm one of the founding members of Ether Cooperative. We're at Ether Nashville on Instagram. And coming up, we got a lot coming up, but I guess the big thing for us this year will be the drop and the opening of the Element in June.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for coming in, blessing us.
Honor. Man. I appreciate this. Oh.
Yes. And we'll be back.
Oh, you using this again?
No, I'm done.
Cool. Sorry if I was like long-winded, man.